Let's get, come on. Aswand Cruickshank, you're one and only. Move swiftly, speak, check it daily. Move swiftly, start giving you a perspective on teamwork you will not get anywhere else. If you do not teach you how to rise to the occasion, and folks teach you how to fall to your level of preparation. Make your move Monday. Make your move Monday. The first one of November. Before I get into Make Your Move Monday's kickoff question, let me address what happened last night with my Washington Commanders. Not just my Washington Commanders, but just through the entire season. Whether it's my Washington Commanders, my Michigan Wolverines, or even, again, I'm a local out here in South Florida. I used to work for the Miami Dolphins Foundation, so I do support them, as I do like to see them doing well. Also, seeing that, again, used to be a part of the organization and all that kind of stuff. But all three of those organizations, whether it's Tyreek Hill, whether it's Justice Haynes, whether it's now Jaden Daniels, massive injuries to their best players, per se, pretty much their best players this year. And it takes me back. It takes me back to something I learned a long time ago, back when I was playing with the White Oak Warriors, the Brick-Shady White Oak Warriors, and, you know, two of our star players missed weight for a championship game. And Coach Bryant brought us all in. I want everyone, bring everyone in, like I'm bringing you in right now. When he just looked at us and he goes, adversity, man. Adversity. How you handle adversity. How do you handle adversity? That's what the game reveals. See, the game is a lot easy. It's easy to be a fan. It's easy to be a fan when things are going well. It's easy to be a fan when we're winning. It's easy to be a fan when you get the party and you get the drink and you get to go. But when you play this game, and you live through injuries, now it teaches you how to handle adversity in your own life. How do you deal with the shit that's coming? Because you know the shit is coming. All right. And all that being saying all that brings me to today's Make Your Move Monday kickoff question, which is, what are feelings? All right, what are feelings? This is what we're going to be breaking down the entire week. We're breaking down the whole concept of feelings. And to give you a definition, and again, I'll dive deeper into this in the live stream today, but give you just a straight definition of the word feelings. It is a temporary state of mind. Keyword being temporary, meaning your temporary state can change within an instant. All right, you could be very, very happy, you could be very sad, all within the matter of 5 minutes. You have to understand the temporary concept that comes with feelings. So if you're basing your decision, you're basing your life decision, important decisions, who you're gonna be with, where you're gonna live, how you're gonna operate, what career path you're gonna pursue, all those things, if you're basing it off feelings, you have a big problem, and you need people in your life to get you out of your fucking feelings, tell you what you need to hear, make sure you're taking your accountability for your actions and the things that you actually did. The difference between having your feelings versus the things that you actually do and the actions that you're taking. That's what we have to discuss. That's what we're going to discuss today again. So the way I answer it, again, for those of you who are new around here, be sure you like, comment, subscribe, share this out to anybody that needs to hear it. But the main takeaway from today is understanding you have to put your feelings in check. All right, put your feelings in check. Take your feelings and deal with your own feelings on your own time. And then when you address people, when you deal with people who know facts about you, who are in a position to work with you in some way, shape, form, or fashion, you got to take your feelings out of it and then decide, this is how it's going to be, and this is how we're going to move forward as mature adults and members of society, and what's going to be best for a mutually beneficial kind of a thing. And that's what you have to do. All right. So again, all that being said, again, prayers up on a speedy recovery for Jaden Daniels. And it's nobody's fault, guys. Again, I've already seen some of the bullshit online when it comes to, you shouldn't have been in the game and this, that, and the look. It's nobody's fault. It happens. And then if you want to blame anybody, it's the fact that they ran. That was their whole entire offensive game plan, was the fact that he was running. I'm not sure if that was his decision or if it was just the play calling and things like that. But at the end of the day, he was running. He's running the ball way too much. Yes, and I said it last year. I got RG3 vibes, all last year. It was great that we were winning, but there was too much. It was too reminiscent of those RG3 years, man. And if you saw his reaction to it, that was pretty heavy, because we all felt it. We all been there. We all felt it, especially as fans, and then the ones also, not only a fan but myself, who lived through a catastrophic injury like that as well. So again, you got to understand feelings. You got to put your feelings in check, and you got to understand how to handle adversity. If you're handling adversity based on feelings and telling people, oh, I feel like you did this, I felt like you were doing that. So fuck your feelings, all right? Fuck your feelings. And when it comes to business, when it comes to you as a business owner, you gotta put your fucking feelings somewhere else and start to do what's best for the business, all right? That's the truth. That's the reality of the situation. So all that being said, main website to check out to dive deeper into all my work. It's makeyourmove.com. That's MakeYamove.com. One-stop shop for your teamwork and your self-development needs. Aswand Cruickshank, your one and only.
You guys continue to move swiftly. We will talk more soon. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good afternoon, good whatever time of day you may or may not consume, but that you may be consuming this. Again, as you just heard, main website. Well, let me just reintroduce myself to anybody that is new around here. If you're just coming in, Aswand Cruickshank here, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, former Division I college football player, and current 6-time published author and educator. I created this whole business, this whole brand, this whole concept. It's all about taking the innovative teamwork lessons that you learn on the football field and applying them to businesses and business owners, so they have a staff and or group of employees that moves as efficiently as a championship high school or youth football team. And as you just heard, right, there's a lot of lessons that come from this great game of football. And they're not really pretty lessons. They're really, really tough lessons to actually learn, to where within an instant, I mean, it was less than a year ago, guys, we were talking about Jaden Daniels as if he was going to be the one that finally bring us a Super Bowl. You blink your eye, just snap your fingers, boom, that's it. He's probably out. And I saw it, and then just for the record, a request, can you stop sharing that picture of his arm being bent online? That is just a gruesome thing to have to look at. But it looks like he will be out not only for this season, but probably for a good bit of next season. And then is he going to come back the way he needs to come back? Listen, man, this is elbow here. Whether I cannot remember. I believe it is his throwing. I'm not sure if it was his throwing arm or not, but either way, it's a quarterback. Your elbow is being used constantly. So is he going to come back the same? That's the question, all right? And again, a lot of it was because they really didn't have cohesion. It was not a balanced attack. If you watched the game last night, the only thing they had going for them offense, I mean, first of all, defense was a fucking shit show. It was a shit show. The defense was a shit show. It was embarrassing to watch. As a defensive guy, to have Sam Darnold go, just completely not one incompletion for the whole fucking first half and carve your ass up like that, knowing that we have a head coach who has a defensive background, that was sickening to watch. Considering the last 3 weeks we've gotten our ass kicked, and then last year in the playoffs in the NFC Championship we get our ass kicked. Defensively, we got to step the fuck up. Okay, this is ridiculous. Okay, ridiculous. Again, I'm speaking, and again, give me a second here because we played last Sunday night, and we got another one. We got another 4:00 game next week against the Lions because, again, we had such a good year last year. We have so many national televised games, and we're getting our ass kicked. But defensively, Jaden Daniels ain't got nothing to do with defense. Nothing to do with the defense and how bad they played. That is just ridiculous to have the offense come in and tap your ass the way they tap your ass. Now, did I expect a close game? I expected to be competitive, but you're not going to be competitive with that kind of defense. Again, Marcus Mariota can get the job done. He's proven he can get the job done, right? He's proven he can get the job done. The problem is, defensively, we got to stop some people. That's just fucking ridiculous, man. That shit, man, I did fuck. Okay, let me. I can't even get to my damn promos without talking about those. You see, this is what the Commanders, this is what these Redskins fans, this is what happens to us when we really buy in. Okay, we get so into the damn game, can't even get through the damn announcements that I need to make. Anyway, employee development. The reason I do the work I do, the reason I'm able to do the work I do, not just because I played, coach, scouted, taught, trained, author, all that, but it's because when you're this dialed into the game and you're this much of a fan, you learn things about employee development that are not taught in schools. All right, you learn things about employee development when you are a Redskins fan, when you grew up a Commanders fan, or grew up of a franchise that just is disposable with their players, disposable with their coaches. You learn certain things that will help business owners develop as employees and develop their team so they have a group of employees that are loyal and they always have that next man up mentality. So again, if you're a business owner and you are interested in that kind of stuff and you are into employee development, you're willing to invest in employee development, makeitmove.com is where you need to go to get more information on that. All right. So all that being said, let's get into today's topic before I start talking about the Commanders anymore. Let's get into today's topic. It's what are feelings? All right, what are feelings? And you're seeing a live example of this right now. Feelings are temporary. All right, this is the Monday morning after my team gets their ass kicked. And again, yes, the Michigan Wolverines won the game, but they played absolutely dreadful. It was a horrible watch. I don't think they played well at all. If they show up like that against Ohio State at the end of the month, Ohio State will open up 4 years of ass whoop. I can't a 4-year ass whooping on the Michigan Wolverines if we don't get our shit together. Right? If we play like we played against Purdue, Ohio State will come into Ann Arbor 3 weeks now, right? 3 weeks from this week, and they will open up a 4-year vengeance that Ohio State has. All right. And they will open all that up against the Michigan, and they will avenge all 4 of those losses in that action if we played like we played last week. So for me, wasn't a good weekend when it comes to the way my teams play, all right, but particularly the Commanders and the Michigan Wolverines. So we're seeing my emotions, we're seeing my feelings, we're seeing these things happen. Again, they're temporary things, like you heard in the video. They're very, very temporary, but still, when you are attached to certain organizations and you feel you hurt when they lose, you get excited when they win, you're with them, you follow them as frequently as you follow them, the feelings change. All right, the feelings change. So what are feelings? What are feelings? I'm going to break down what are feelings versus what are facts today, and we're going to be doing that throughout the entire week. We'll do it today. We got Top 5 Tuesday tomorrow. We're going to top 5 ways to process these feelings, and then Wintrepreneur Wednesday, how you can cope with this, how you can take feelings and capture feelings, put them on screen, tell stories, and have it make money for you year in and year out. Have it the evergreen product like I do with the work I do. All right. So all that being said, let's jump into the article and get things going. I'll get you out of there. I usually keep these around 20 minutes, depending on what the topic is. So let's jump into it now. So Make Your Move Monday kickoff question. What are feelings? Now, the reason for the image this week is because this was back, man, I was a trainer at Positive Coaching Alliance, and I was doing like workshop after workshop. It was like 3 or 4 workshops a week I was doing. And this was at a Hialeah with a group of high school kids at, yeah, it was Hialeah High School. Hialeah. This is out in Miami. And when you see those young people, these are this is why I'm so passionate about working with kids at the teenage level, at the high school level, is those kids, man. It was a 3-week workshop. It was 3 weeks. So I was there once for basically a month. It was Thursday, and then basically for the entire month, I would do that weekly visit. And to see the growth and development of those kids, man, it was great because the Marlins were there. Their foundation was there. They were taking pictures. And again, it was a great opportunity for me. And I captured the feeling of that moment. I don't know how they're doing now, but I could tell you that we had such a great time that they are always, those high school kids are always going to remember. Hey, remember that guy came in and talked to us about, how to work with people, how to be leaders, how to do this, because that's what Positive Coaching Alliance was all about. So again, there was a feeling that was captured there, and that was the perfect image to really break down this discussion that we're going to be having about. All right, so here we go. Welcome to the first Make Your Move Monday of November. 2 more months, guys. 2 more months until 2026. Are you hearing me clearly? Did that actually register? Did that hit home? We have 2 months, 8 weeks, and then 2026 is going to be here. Are you ready? Because listen, man, as you can see, life does not slow down for anyone. It moves incredibly fast. And when you blink your eye, 2026 is going to be here. Did you put in the work? Did you prepare yourself? Did you put enough down? Did you absolutely put yourself in a situation over the past 8 or 9 months to make it so your 2026 is better than your 2025? Let's say it again for the people in the back. Did you do enough in the last 10 months to make it so your 2026 is better than your 2025? That's the question, because it's here, it's coming, it's not going anywhere. All right. So here it is. That means one thing. All right. Time to get laser focused. Again, man, it's November and 2026 is here. Time to get laser focused on your goals now. Forget the New Year's resolution talk. Resolutions fade by February. Goals, on the other hand, they never end. They just evolve. They get refined, sharper, more specific. At your leisure, check out my reflection on last year's top moments. You'll see what I mean. Every breakthrough was unexpected, but none of it was accidental. It all started with clear goals. So this was last year's. So my top 10 moments of 2024. that was it. Yeah. And again, capturing those moments, capturing those feelings, absolutely deciding to do what you have to do. So that was that. Go ahead and read that at your leisure. And again, the new book, How to Be a Entrepreneur. If you are following me on medium.com, you will be getting a discount on that book because it's going to be the articles in actual hard book copy form. So I'll be doing some discounts for the people who will follow me on Medium or new followers on Medium. So here we go. So what are feelings? Let's start with the definition. Feeling, an emotional state or reaction. An emotional state or reaction. Read it again. An emotional state or reaction. State and reaction. That means it's temporary. And that's the entire point of today's question is your feelings are temporary. Hear me, folks. Your feelings are temporary. How you feel about whatever situation bothers you, that's some temporary shit that you got to get over, and you got to get over it quicker. All right, because again, it's 2026. It's 2026, and no, the world is not going to slow down for your motherfucking feelings. Your feelings got to be your own shit. Deal with your own feelings on your own time, and start going and putting in some work to get things done. That's the reality. So why are we talking about it? All right, why am I Aswand Cruickshank? Why does Aswand Cruickshank have to do an entire episode on feelings? All right, I'm gonna tell you guys right now. I'm gonna reveal some things to you that's been happening to me over the past month or so. Reveal some things to you. All right. Because for the past 2 months, I've been bombarded, as one has been bombarded by feelings, my own and everybody else's. All right. I've been bombarded with feelings. Okay. I have a girlfriend who's gone on so many rants that we haven't spoken in over a week, or I guess you got to call her your ex at this point. But when it comes to that, can you really call someone that your ex when you've met the kids? And that's a conversation I won't give you guys right now. But gone on so many rants and talked about her feelings all over that we haven't spoken in over a week. That's personal life. K through 5 students. I have a group of K through 5 students that I'm around that I have to deal with every single grade level. Unlike most of my colleagues, I have to deal with every single grade level. Who get upset. They get so upset when I don't compliment them on every single thing they do. If I don't compliment them, I don't tell them how great. If I compliment one but don't compliment the other, then I'm upset. That's one likes this one more than me. I deal with that. I deal with that bullshit. And then I have coworkers, grown ass adults. It's one thing. It's one thing. If you're dealing with kids' emotion, but then I got to deal with grown ass adults who I've made cry, and I've had to console them when they cry because of things going on with the kids. Because again, you get very few male educators, and when women and on their feelings and all that bullshit, they look for the nearest man and try to find comfort in that. So I got to deal with that bullshit too. All right. So add that to long talks with married friends, late night journaling, and my own reflections with ChatGPT. And it hit me. We live in a world where everyone wants to make you responsible for their feelings. Hear me on this one. Everyone wants to make another person responsible for their feelings. See, something very key about a person when instead of taking responsibility for the way they feel, instead of taking some accountability and for the way that they're living, instead of taking some accountability for the things that are happening to them in their life, they're always going to try to find somebody else to blame and say it's because of that person that I feel like this. Fuck that. Okay, fuck that. Even if it may be true, that has nothing to do. Your mentality needs to be, hey, if that person's making me feel like this, then I need to take action, right? I need to take some fucking action so I don't allow that person to make me feel like this. I need to start to I need to develop to strengthen my own core, my own being, and my own mindset to where I don't give a person that type of control over my feelings. That's what needs to happen. Not a lot of people know how to do that. Very few people know how to do that, or it takes some time for you to figure out how to fucking do that. All right. So feelings versus facts. As a business owner, the reason I'm bringing this up because what we do here is we teach you business owners how to develop that team and how to develop a team that's going to have the tough, resilient mindset. As a business owner who's all in on employee development, I can tell you straight, if you don't learn to separate feelings from facts, you're never going to lead effectively. Fact, what actually happened. Feeling, your temporary interpretation of it. Both matter, but only one can make decisions. Feelings show you care, but facts build consistency. And the best leaders, the entrepreneurs, and the ones who care deeply, but don't let emotion drive their execution. The hard truth. I'll be honest, I can care less about how my coworkers feel about me. It's not arrogance, it's just focus. It's the reason I bring value wherever I go. I'm not hired to make people feel comfortable. I'm here to make people grow. And understand growing is going to hurt. It's going to make people uncomfortable because you're actually getting out of your comfort zone. But you're not here to make people comfortable. You actually have to grow the business. All right, again, I repeat, 2026 is 8 weeks away, folks. 8 weeks away, and you better be ready. So here's the challenge. I'll close you guys out with this. Here's a challenge for you. This week, I challenge you to stop making emotional reactions. Stop making emotional reactions your foundation, all right? Notice when feelings talk, replace it with real accountability. Practice emotional discipline, especially in your work relationships, because if you don't master your feelings at work, they'll start running your life outside of work. So all that being said, again, main website to check out to dive deeper into all of this, to get lessons and to develop a staff that moves with this type of intention. It's makeyourmove.com. That's MakeYamope.com. One-stop shop for your teamwork and your self-development needs. Aswand Cruickshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker. Check it out. You guys continue to move swiftly. We will talk more soon.